In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a fantastic fridge-worthy typing chart for your typing scores. So by now you should have 3 different typing score pieces of information. We've had 3 typing tests so far, and so you should have had a score for each of those 3. If for some reason you have less than that, you're going to have to deal with what you have. So, because you should have information for your date that you took the assessment, the words per minute that you had, and then your accuracy, you're going to have 3 points of data. So, first thing that you need to do is you need to left click on the A1 box right here, this thing that says A1. Each of these different squares inside here, these are rectangles, I mean, is called a cell. And so if you click on the A1 cell, you see how this is the A column and this is the 1 row. If you click on there, it's going to set us up to be successful with our charts. So there's a button after you click there that says Insert Chart. And if you click on it, it's going to pull up a chart editor menu. Now every once in a while, it thinks it knows what you're trying to do more than what you're actually trying to do. So you're going to have to do some customization. For me, when I clicked on this, the chart type that popped up is this horizontal axis type of chart, and that's not really what we want. So over here, I'm going to scroll down to where it's this column chart like this. Okay. Now, if it automatically chose this for you, fantastic. If it did not, then please click on this particular one. I want all my charts to look this relatively similar because it's going to be easier for me to look at when I'm grading them. So there's a couple pieces of customization that I'm going to want you to do. So if you click on this, use row 1 as headers, I will want that checked. And I'll also want use column A as labels. By the way, in case you're curious, use row 1 as headers. You see how row 1, these are the different headers for the columns, okay? And then use column A as labels. So column A is going to be these dates, and that's what we want to have be down there. Now, customization. A couple things. Chart title is a pretty terrible title to a chart. So you're going to want to put down your name's typing scores right here, okay? And that's going to work just fine. And then when you click off of it, it changes it to being up there, okay? There's a couple of things that you can do to customize, but I'm going to focus on the big ones first. If you scroll all the way down to the very bottom, there's a couple things that are going to be down here. I want treat labels as text. I want that to be checked. If you do not check it, what will happen is that if there's any sort of gaps in time in between these, it's going to start to look a little funny. And you also notice how February 22nd is here, and March 1st is here, and March 8th is here, and March 22nd. These dates don't matter to when we took these typing tests, so we want to have that checked. Next, there's something down here that says data labels, none. Change that to value so that when you are completed with your chart, I'll be able to see, okay, on February 15th, my typing score was I got 25 blue, which corresponds over here to my WPM, and 95 red, which was my accuracy. So on each of the dates, I'll have 2 pieces of information, my accuracy and my words per minute. Now the other things that you might be able to change involve, that you might care about, could be some of the different colorations for each of these different things. You can change the axis labels, you can have them do some slanting if you'd rather have that. I'm going to leave it up to you to figure out. So when I click Insert, my chart covers up my data, which I do not want. So I'm going to left click and drag it over here so that it is right next to my data. Okay. So when you guys keep adding in typing scores down here, they're all going to be attached to this typing chart. And as you can tell, if I take, let's say I take another typing test sometime later in the month, notice how it starts to create a space for it. And as I add in different values, it's actually going to just continuously updating this chart. So you do not need to go in, delete the chart that you've already created to continue to edit and add stuff in. That makes it a lot more simple. The other thing is, if in case you need to change like the title after you've created a chart, you can left click up here and you can go up, make some modifications. Just make sure that you hit enter to apply and it will change what it looks like. If you left click on some things, you can change some of the colorations. I literally do not care about what color it is as long as I can read it. So that looks fine because I can read those different numbers right there. So that's totally fine by me. But that doesn't work for me, so you need to make sure that you can have it in a color that you can read physically. Oh, there we go. Whew, that was close. And there you go. Please make sure that your typing chart's name is something along the lines of typing scores. And then when you are submitting your this, I should be able to see your data and I should be able to see your typing scores chart.